on making homemade elephant ears. A cup and a half of milk, a half a stick of butter, almost a half a stick of butter. All I put in was 3 little blocks of butter, teaspoon of salt, two tablespoons of sugar, okay, and then you stir that in. Twist it in, how you want to call it, stir it in, whatever. And then you let it sit for 15 minutes and let it cool down. Well, it don't have to be 15 minutes, you just let it sit and let it cool down to a warm temperature. Lukewarm or whatever, how you want to call it. I'm going to say it again. Real slow. A cup and a half of milk. Almost, let me see, 2 little small pieces of butter. Almost half a stick, what I'm saying. Teaspoon of salt. And 2 tablespoons of sugar. Stir it in until everything is melted. Let it sit until it gets a little warm. Then you're going to add your active yeast. Okay. Then you add your yeast. Let it sit for 15 minutes. Don't stir it. This is active yeast. Let it dissolve in the pot. Let it sit for 15 minutes. Don't stir it at all. Don't stir it. It's inside the same milk, the sugar, the salt, the butter. It's in the same pot with the yeast. Let it dissolve. Let it sit for 15 minutes. Don't stir it. Okay, this is how it's supposed to look. Like this. The yeast is dissolved in it. And that's how it's supposed to look, just like this here. And I'm going to pour it inside of a bowl and add my 2 cups of flour. I'm going to add my flour right now. I'm going to whisk it in. If I need more flour, I'm going to add more. I think I'm going to need more flour. Just hold on. Okay, I put 4 cups of flour and a half in here. Depends on how much you're making. 2 cups of flour, you're just making 4. So I'm going to go ahead and nail this and let you see it when I get done, and put a damp cloth over it or wrapping paper inside this bowl and let it sit for 30 minutes. Wrapping paper or a damp towel, and let it sit for 30 minutes. You gotta nail it first though, with some flour inside this bowl or whatever you want to do it on the table, and wrap it for 30 minutes. Wrapping paper, the clear wrapping paper, plastic, what I'm saying, or a damp towel. I said it again, I'm gonna nail it first. I just nailed it. This is how it look. I'm about to wrap it and let it sit for 30 minutes. I took some of it off because I'm going to make the rest of it. But I'm going to do this one first. Okay, it's covered. I usually use a towel to cover it with, but I'm going to use this here, this wrapping thing here, wrapping paper, so you can see that it's wrapped for 30 minutes. Make sure your cooking oil is hot. Not too hot where you can burn it though, but hot enough where you can, put your elephant ears in. I think it did this thing, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it in fours. Now you know it's elephant ear, right? It has to be large. I'm going to put it on a piece of, on my, whatever you call it. Here it is. I use my pizza pan. Now it's an elephant ear. It's supposed to be, that's how it's supposed to be, large now, like an elephant ear. You can use what you want. When I made the dough, you can use cooking oil. I'm not cooking oil, Crisco or butter to put in the milk. I forgot to say that. It's in the skillet now. See how it's bubbling? Like an elephant ear. And I'm going to turn it because it's not in the pot, it's in the skillet. See that? That's how it's supposed to be.